recognized by the Supreme Court, and the Sheriff faction sacked by the court, are now battling for the control of the Ogun State Party Secretariat at Kuto, Abeokuta, the state capital. Alhaji Sikurullah Gudele, who heads the McCarthy Caretaker Committee, recognized by the Apex Court, and engineer Adebayo Dayo, who led the pro-Sheriff State Executive Committees, are both laying claim to the party secretariat. Both claimed they are the authentic State Executive Committee, recognized by the Ahmed McCarthy-led Caretaker Committee of the party. Speaking with Roxy FM, Ogundele promised to lead members of his group into the state secretariat after attending next week's meetings of PDP expanded the National Executive Council, convened by Senator Ahmed McCarthy. Ogundele, who claims to have an order of an Abeokuta High Court, says the police and Department of Security Service will be instructed to enforce the Supreme Court order recognizing his faction and eject the pro-Sheriff Adebayo Dayo State Executive from the Secretariat.
At the next meeting, we will take documents to them as the security officers will be informed, and then we're going to give them a document. They are the ones to tell them their venue has gone, another person is coming up. We are not going to security operatives. So the police, the SSS, they are the ones to track them away. If the tenant refuses to leave the landlord house, then you lock.
Adebayo Dayo, at the end of the stakeholders meeting of the party held at the State Secretariat in Abeokuta, told Roxy FM that the State Executive is recognized by the McCarthy Caretaker Committee and that the Supreme Court verdict has no effect on the state chapter led by him.
In the world, they were all accepted by the National Working Committee prior to the National Convention of Port Harcourt. So for anybody now to come out and say he's a chairman, he is playing on the law. The law does not recognize him, and as time goes on, if care is not taken, he will be taken to court for contempt of court. I abide with this rule of law, and that is what we are using in Ogun State. If anybody is not happy about it, let him go to court and challenge the authority that puts.
Comprehensive Academy Lafenwa Abeokuta will hold a passing out of its 13th regular set and valedictory service, speech and prize-giving ceremony on Saturday, June 15. The Academy, the statement Vice Principal Honorable Wale Bello, says the events will take place at the pavilion stand at the school premises by 11 a.m. Alhaji Kafar Balogun and Mr. Kole Ladepo will be joint chairmen of the event. Special guest is Alhaji Bakari Ukedara, while the special guest speaker is a Lagos State Police Commissioner. Some retired Army generals, including former Defense Minister Lieutenant General Theophilus Yakubu Danjuma, and other leaders of the National Christian Elders Forum, have expressed concern about the state of the nation. Arising from a meeting of the forum in Abuja, they warned that the agitation and the growing tense situation, if not well managed, could plunge the nation into a major ethnic war. The forum, in a statement issued at the end of the meeting, says the ongoing crisis is unprecedented. On the herdsmen clashes with the farming communities nationwide, the Christian elders recommended that part of the Sambiso forest in the northeast region be converted into a grazing reserve to end the clashes. Other Christian elders of the meeting included retired Major Generals Joshua Dongojaro, Zamani Lekwot, as well as Elder Moses Ehonde and Solomon Asemota. The Senate is considering a bill seeking to prevent the marriage of individuals suffering from sickle cell anemia to one another. The bill, titled Mandatory Hemoglobin Genotype Testing Bill, also seeks to make testing for sickle cell in children compulsory in Nigeria. The bill passed the second reading on Tuesday. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Gembe Ahmed, says 1 out of every 2 sickle cell children delivered is in Nigeria. Former PDP National Chairman Senator Nimori Sharif has congratulated the chairman of the PDP Caretaker Committee, Ahmed McCarthy, over his victory at the Supreme Court in the party's leadership crisis. Sharif was sacked by the Apex Court in the Wednesday's landmark ruling on his Twitter handle, says the Supreme Court had spoken and it is time for party members to unite to reposition the PDP. The former PDP national chairman, however, says that to move the party forward, McCarthy must immediately embark on true reconciliation of aggrieved members. According to Sharif, such genuine reconciliation is the only way for the PDP to defeat the APC in 2019. Meanwhile, McCarthy has granted amnesty to Sharif and his supporters, saying the door of his committee is wide open to Sharif's supporters. The PDP caucus in the House of Representatives says there is vacancy in the presidential villa Abuja in 2019. PDP Minority Leader in the House, Leo Ogo, addressed a news conference in Abuja, says the party will return to the Aso Villa after the 2019 polls. The caucus asked the APC to start making preparation to vacate the presidential villa because PDP will win the 2019 presidential poll. Ogo also explained that the PDP membership in the House, which has dropped to 141, will bounce back soon, following Wednesday's judgment of the Supreme Court on the PDP leadership crisis. Several PDP lawmakers who were defected during the PDP crisis, according to him, are returning to the fold. Interior Ministry has abolished the dichotomy between degree holders and their higher national diploma counterparts in the Nigerian Immigration Service, also affected in the regularization of the Nigerian Prison Service, Federal Fire Service, and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Interior Minister Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazal approved the harmonization at the meeting of the Board of the Prisons, Immigration, NSCDC, and Fire Service last Tuesday in Abuja. Under the new scheme, all officers in the agencies with H&D certificate have been upgraded to the same salary grade level with degree holders at the point of entry into the service. A 19-year-old man, Adeolu Bamileke, has been sentenced to death by an Advocate High Court for armed robbery. A 12-year-old boy, arraigned along with him for the armed robbery, was freed by the court for being a minor. The accused persons were charged to court for robbing one Adefunke Amiri of a mobile phone in July 2016. Justice John Adeyeye, who sentenced the accused to death, also jailed him for 10 years for illegal possession of firearms. You're still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next will be your foreign, business, and sport news. Please do stay with us. Grandparents and other relatives of people living in the U.S. cannot be barred from entering under President Donald Trump's travel ban, a judge has ruled. The order by District Judge Derek Watson in Hawaii is a fresh legal blow to Mr. Trump's immigration crackdown. The judge says the ban has interpreted a Supreme Court ruling too narrowly. That decision made last month partly reinstated the ban on refugees and travelers from 6 Muslim-majority countries. It said only those with bona fide family ties will be let into the U.S. But the Trump administration decided that did not include grandparents, grandchildren, brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, uncles, aunts, nephews, nieces, and cousins. Judge Watson, however, disagreed and ordered that those restrictions should not be enforced. Mr. Trump's travel ban on people from Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen has been controversial since its announcement. The Supreme Court is still considering the current version of the law and allowed the temporary ban to come into effect in June, pending their full judgment. Mr. Trump says the restrictions are needed to keep America safe and prevent terror attacks. Australian authorities have told the residents to evacuate more than 100 homes in Melbourne as a huge fire sent hazardous smoke across the city. 4 people have been taken to hospital and a further 8 treated for asthma symptoms since the fire began at a recycling plant on Thursday. Described by authorities as the size of a sports field, the fire is likely to burn for at least 2 more days. Metropolitan Fire Brigade Commander Brendan Andre said the blaze is being fueled by thousands of tons of plastic, cardboard, and paper, making it extremely difficult to gain access to the fire. Authorities have urged anyone near the fire at Coonaroos in Melbourne's north to take shelter indoors while an emergency relief center has been set up. Two Israeli policemen have been killed and a third wounded in gunshot attack near a sacred site in Jerusalem. They were shot by three Israeli Arabs close to the compound, known to the Jews as the Temple Mount and to Muslims as Haram al-Sharif. Police chased the attackers into the site and shot them dead. There has been a wave of stabbings, shootings and car rammings of Israelis, predominantly by Palestinians or Israeli Arabs, since late 2015. Two of the previous attackers were Jordanians. Police said the three men who carried out Friday's attack were aged between 19 and 29 and came from the northern Israeli city of al-Fahim. Police said the gunmen opened fire as they made their way from the Temple Mount or Haram al-Sharif towards the Lion's Gate and opened the old city walls about 30 meters away. The attackers were then pursued back to the compound where they were killed. In business, Etisalat Nigeria has dumped its brand name and adopted a new one. The telecommunications company adopted a new brand name of Nine Mobile. The new brand name was announced after the meeting of the company's management in Lagos. The name change follows the pullout of Mubadala Group. Etisalat, a major investor from the United Arab Emirates. Mubadala Group left the company following the collapse of negotiations over the payment of 541 billion naira loan from 13 Nigerian banks. Finally, in the World News at 5, Sport News. For fielding an ineligible player, following protests from Niger Tornadoes at the weekend, that the 7-time NPFL champions fielded an ineligible player, LMC have decided not to deduct 3 points from Enyimba. Niger Tornadoes had alleged that Enyimba midfielder Ikechukwu Ibenegbu was ineligible to play the NPFL Matchday 28 game due to cards accumulation. Nigerian striker Alex Iwobi provided an intelligent assist to French forward Alexandre Lacazette in Arsenal's 2-0 win over Sydney FC in a preseason friendly on Thursday. Iwobi sped away on the far side before producing an inch-perfect cross for the well-positioned Frenchman, who finished with aplomb for his first goal for the Gunners in his debut game. Iwobi scored 4 goals in all competitions for Arsenal last season. That was the World News at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Ogun State PDP factions battle for the control of the Abeokuta Secretariat. Danjuma, other Christian elders worried over the state of the nation. Sharif congratulates McCarthy, demanded true reconciliation. Immigration, NSCDC, Fire Service, prisons, and degree and HND dichotomy. U.S. District Court reverses Donald Trump's travel ban. Gunmen killed 2 policemen, injured another near Jerusalem Holy Site. For more stories or to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good evening.